So, point is, Rabotai, is that the things that stress people the most is the news. They watch the news, and the news's job is to stress you out, tell you about all the bad stuff that's happening in the world. There's generally, if you see good news does not get much coverage. It's the depressing news, the anxiety-driven news. That's the stuff that gets people to watch the same exact show, for 5 hours straight. Whether it's a Chas v'Shalom, like a September 11th, or it's a market crash, or it's some type of political issue, whatever it is, they'll repeat the same thing 500 times. Every hour on the hour, and people are going to listen to all 5 times. Why? Just in case the 5th time he mentions an extra 2 or 3 words. And people stress them out over the news a lot, and you see, as soon as something comes out that hits a person's heart, if they don't have any Emunah in Hashem, then what ends up happening is that it affects their life. Immediately, the next day, they wake up already stressed out. The next day, they already start off their day on the wrong foot. The next day, they already start with a pessimism about where's the future, what am I going to do, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to make it, and all types of things, all types of junk that enters our mind. So the 2 points I'd like to make about this is that, number one, it's all fake news. All of it. There is no such thing as fake news. It's all fake. People think, since Trump coined the term fake news, people like to say, oh yeah, this thing, that's fake news. No, but that's real. But that's fake. No, it's all fake. It's all fake news. Why? Because there's always somebody that has a bias, that's manipulating what's being reported to people, what's said, what's not said, why is it said at a specific time. It happened in the market many, many times. I remember one time there was a company we were investing in, one of the first big ideas that we were investing in, a company called Nextel. And this idea, I thought it was a brilliant idea, and I thought it was worth a lot more money than it did. And I recommended to clients to start investing into this thing. One day, a report from Goldman Sachs, which was still is one of the most respected investment banks in the world. They have some of the smartest, most connected people out there, if not the most connected. And they came out with a report with a sell recommendation, meaning that this is garbage. This company, don't invest in it, sell. If you have it, get rid of it. So now, if I come out with a report, no one really cares. But if Goldman Sachs comes out with a report, everybody cares. So immediately the stock dropped by like 50%. Like as if the company is declaring bankruptcy. Like they're not declaring bankruptcy. They're fine. They had cash. They had all types of good things. But, Goldman Sachs doesn't like them. The stock crashed. Everybody's panicking. My phone is ringing off the hook. The only good thing I had is I didn't have that many clients yet at the time. So it wasn't that many phone calls. But still, all the recommendations, people were panicking. We reviewed all of our facts. We saw there's nothing wrong with this. We continued investing, and it ended up working out really well. We made about 10 times our money. But the funniest part is, what we found out along the way is that right after they said sell recommendation, the institutional investors, the big investors, they have to report what they bought and what they sold every few months, depending on who and what it is. But if they own more than a certain percentage, they have to report it right away. It's SEC filings. Anyway, what I found out along the way, after everything calmed down already, I got some more people to invest, now that's a discounted price, and so on and so forth. What do we find out? Shortly after they came out with this recommendation, the research department of Goldman Sachs came out with this recommendation that this is garbage, the investment department bought 6.5 million shares. But for a discount now. Why? It dropped 50%. Now if I did that, I'd be in jail till this day. That's stock manipulation. But when you have, your best friend's the president, and his wife, and his kids, and the kids that weren't born, and the grandkids that weren't born, and all of his friends, and everybody else, you can do whatever you want. Point being, Rabotai, it's all fake news, all of it. Do not waste your time watching news for even a minute. A minute. I promise you, if you need to know it, it'll arrive at your desk anyway. If there's chas v'shalom, a war, you'll hear something. You'll hear something. Don't waste your time, unless you need it for your business. Unless you need it for your business, you're in an investment business, you're in a business of business, and so on. You need to know certain things. But even then, Rabotai, you should do it as least as possible, just less frequently, because it's just going to stress you out. And the reality is, the only thing that you see in a newspaper every day, whether it's the Wall Street Journal or it's the anti-Semitic New York Times or any of these other newspapers, the only thing you see is that the information is the same, just that the names changed. They tell you a bunch of people died just every day, just the names changed. Tell you a bunch of people declared bankruptcy, just the names changed. Bunch of people made money, just the names changed. Bunch of people are getting arrested or getting promotions, just the names changed. It's the same nonsense all the time. It's the same thing all the time. So when you spend any time whatsoever in the news, you're literally wasting your life, which you could spend that time, and the judgment of heaven will one day ask you, how come you spend a half hour, an hour every day reading the news, but not a half hour, an hour a day learning Torah? You can't tell me you didn't read because you read the paper for a half hour, an hour. You can't tell me that you can't watch because you watched the news for a half hour, an hour. So you can watch a shiur for a half hour, an hour. You always say you don't have time. You had time to watch CNN, you had time to watch CNBC. How come? They're going to ask you in Shemaim. Now the second reason, the more pertinent reason, the quiet killer of watching the news is that it's simply an Emunah killer. When you watch the news, you are in essence taking whatever Emunah you have and you're throwing it in the toilet. Why? Because now they're going to tell you a bunch of things, and all of those things are going to manipulate your beliefs. You believe that things are going to be good, they're telling you no. You believe that things are going to be bad, they're telling you it's going to be even worse. You believe this, they're going to tell you something else. And it hurts your emunah, because now you're thinking, when you watch the news, you're thinking that the future is in the hands of those people on the screen. Whether it be the president or his friends or some newscaster or some scientist or whatever it is, some reporter, you think that the future is in this guy's hands, in her hands. You think it's in their hands because they said something that caused things to happen, or they're reporting something that caused things to happen that's going to affect you. You have to understand, when Hashem decides for a seed to turn into a tree, Hashem has to review all of the seeds and decide, after all of the seeds are planted, not all of the seeds turn into trees or even to flowers. Hashem has to look and review every single seed and decide which one of them is going to turn into a tree, and which one of them is just going to die, do nothing. Some animal's going to come eat it. Bugs are going to eat it for lunch, something. But it's not going to be a tree. He decides every single tree. So when if you ever saw farmers and how they grow and their harvest every season, you see when they throw trees, they don't do one seed at a time. They take a bunch, shefa, huge amounts. They don't count 1, 2, 3. Huge amounts they plant, huge. Because they know, who knows if this one's going to work, that one's going to work. They don't know. They throw a bunch of them. Now, it takes a long time for a tree to grow. A long time for a tree to grow. Now one day that tree is going to bear fruit. Hashem decides if those fruits are going to be bitter or they're going to be sweet. He decides. That tree is also going to have leaves. And those leaves have a season, and sometimes they fall. They fall. Each year they fall off the tree. Before the leaf falls off the tree, pay attention to this. Now imagine a tree. There's lots of trees here in Florida and other places, right? You've seen trees. I don't have to give you a visual. You've seen trees. Tree, tens of thousands of leaves. Lots of leaves. Each leaf, before it falls, whether it's the season or it's not the season, Before it falls, it has to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the malach of the tree, the malach of the leaf. There's an angel on each and every little seed, each and every little leaf. There's an angel next to each one of them. The malach has to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, can I fall today? Can I fall? Please? Oh no, I stay. Hashem says, no, today you're going to stay. The next day, Hashem, what about today? No, today you're going to stay. Hashem, what about today? A month straight he's asking, Hashem, today, no. Hashem, today, no. Hashem, today, no. One day Hashem says, all right, today, yeah, go for it. Jump. Yay! And he falls to the floor. Before a leaf falls off of a tree, he has to ask for permission. And you think that this newscaster has control of your finances, has control of your health, has control of the economy, has control of the government, has control of anything? The leaf has to ask for control, for permission. You think anyone in the world has any control of anything?